back on the river to do a little test on a sluice with some homemade matting. Had a couple people on eBay ask me about a cheap carpet or matting. So I seen an old guy down here a couple years ago that had made one. I got everything set up. I'll set there and show you it running. All it is deep V matting and some different sizes of wire tie or zip ties to make all the riffles and stuff. This works, it catches gold. It's comparable to maybe like a Miracle mat or the high-low matting that you can get out there. And this whole mat maybe costs 20 bucks altogether. 30 bucks if you include the Gorilla Tape and the Gorilla Glue that I use to do it. But I'm going to go ahead and finish running some stuff, do a clean out, and I'll shoot the video and show everybody the video of how to make one. Hey guys, thought I'd show you how to make a easy mat for your sluice shell. Just compare it to the Gold Hog matting or your Miracle mat. It's more going to look like your Miracle mat, but it'll compare to the Gold Hog matting, but for a quarter of the price. And it works. We're going to build one, then I'm going to take it down to the river and I'll show you. But what you're going to need is some deep V matting. You can buy this on eBay, maybe 10 to 15 bucks depending on the size of your sluice. Some Gorilla Glue, Gorilla Tape. This is the most important piece, and it's $1.47. It is a Z-bar for a carpet reducer or a transition piece. You can find that at any Home Depot. And what I have is some wire ties. One's 1/2 inch and some that are 1/4 inch. And we're going to cut and glue everything together and take it down to the river. Alright, I just got done cutting my mat. My box, my shell is 7 inches. So what I need to do is I cut my mat 6 7/8. Basically because I'm going to use Gorilla Glue on the side or the Gorilla Tape on the side. As I got done washing it and cleaning it inside, just make sure you can do it and your wife won't gripe at you. Mine's pretty understanding about this stuff. But now I'm going to tape it. What we're going to end up doing is placing the mat about 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch on that. And we're going to stick it on, then roll up the sides, and we're going to have about 1/2 inch on each side. And there's what it looks like with a folded over piece. And that gives us 1/2 inch, a little bit over 1/2 inch on the side. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. Make a nice little trough. Alright, here's the mat inside the box. If you can see like the 1/2 inch nice on each side. That'll keep anything from getting down and underneath the mat and losing stuff flowing from underneath. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut some strips now. Which I start with a 1/2 inch. You can start with whatever pattern you want. But I wouldn't go over a 1/2 inch size on any of your plastic strips. The reason is you get that water flow, and if it gets any more than a 1/2 inch, it tends to get a whole lot of water thrown over the top, so nothing sticks down. You want a nice good flow over everything. But make sure you get nice cuts right on the edge. I usually cut a few to just get started. Let's see what I'm doing. You don't have to use a 1/2 inch. If you got some smaller ones, you can use smaller ones, but I like the 1/2 and the 1/4 inch. This is the third one I'm making, so first one I made mistakes, the second one I made mistakes, so hopefully this third one will turn out nice and good. Usually with the mistakes I was making, it was with the glue, and I'll show you some of that once we get done and started and moving on, and while I'm letting this one dry. This is enough to get started. The way I like to do, I like to come 4 or 5 inches down. That way it gives a little bit of this deep V, and I'll be able to tell if I'm getting the gold or on the gold just by the few pieces. This is where most of my mistakes came in, and is with the Gorilla Glue. I put too much on there and it flowed down and bubbled up. So you don't have to use a whole lot. Just take nice little stream. Don't have to be that much. Stick it in there. Stick your piece in there. And make sure you hold it down for a bit. And you want to make sure you fold it down to where you'll have your little ridge. Alright, first one's done. You probably see my pattern here coming up. But if you look on the Miracle mat, how it's done, it has one large riffle, then 3 small riffles. But you could do any pattern you like, and the good thing about it, this is not too costly. So if you want to make other ones, you can experiment, especially for the area you're in. If it's a lot of fine gold like me, I found that this pattern works probably the best. But if you want to make it more like the Gold Hog or something like that and get creative with your pattern, you can do that. But if you're a little long on your pieces while you're gluing them, that's fine. You can cut them pretty easily. But once you stick this on this Gorilla Glue, you ain't getting these things out at all. And the reason I like wire ties instead of some of the other plastic pieces, they're nice and thick and sturdy. And you can see the pattern I'm doing right now. But there's a whole lot of options, even if you want to put maybe some matting in here with a little piece of the raised aluminum. You could do that. You can run all moss over here with the aluminum on there. I like to go strictly on this whole pattern. It seems to work best for me. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and finish gluing it. That way you don't have to sit there and watch me glue it all together. Alright, I pretty much completed this. I'll show you. So I went a 1/2 inch on the front, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3. As you can see, I go down. I'm going to change a little, just to get a little different zones. That way the chance the gold, if it don't fall out on that zone, maybe change it up a little bit. Then I left a little bit of space there, maybe to help calm it down a little bit before it hits the next ramp. Just go. You can do this any way you want, because if this don't work, I might go ahead and here add maybe some 1/8 inch, or I might put another 1/2 inch. But I wanted to show you one of the mistakes with the glue. What happens if you lose too much glue? Here's one I made about a month ago. You can see it overflowed and started filling up gaps down below. It works, but this thing ain't pretty. I pretty much run this in the bottom half of my high banker. But these things do work. They do catch gold. And once we get everything set up and everything dries, we're going to take you and get to gold. But one thing I wanted to show you, what you need to do on your sluice box and what that Z-strip comes into, you need to go ahead and make you a piece. And the piece is going to set underneath your flare in your sluice box. It'll give it a little ramp, and your mat will fit underneath it. But what you want to do here is you need to make sure you cut your angle right in here. That way your tape will fit underneath it. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the sluice and show you what I mean. As you can see, the mat's in there, and you can see the piece of tape running up against the side. That gives it a good seal. It'll set underneath there. And you'll have your first ramp right here. Sometimes what I do, I might fold the piece up and stick it underneath here to make it a nice tight fit, which I'll probably do, and I'll show you doing that. And I'll go ahead and glue everything up. Alright, here's the metal piece underneath the flare, and it acts as the first little ramp. But as you can see on the sides, the edge is going in. Your tape on your mat is going to slide into these spots. And what I'll do is take some silicone and go ahead and silicone this up so nothing gets trapped in there or in the little sides of your edges. I'll silicone them up. And if you're using it as a backpack sluice, you really can't do that unless you take some with you. But there's a silicone that'll set up in 10 minutes, so you could actually do that if you wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and slip this mat in here and show you what it looks like. Alright, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here out of some extra piece I had. The mat I bought was a little long, so I had extra. I'm going to take and put a piece right here, and this will let the mat fit underneath that first ramp nice and tight, and you won't get any gravel or gold underneath that eddy going back underneath and flowing underneath and out the bottom of the sluice. So what I did is just taken nice little 3 little ridges, and I'm going to take and glue it into here. And there it is. That'll give it a little bit of build up and set underneath there nice and fine. This is the silicone I like to use. The G silicone, the 30-minute water ready. It's pretty much dry in 10 to 15 minutes if you're out in the sun. But if you want to take this backpacking with you or something like that, it's pretty light and it don't take 5 or 6 hours to get ready. 30 minutes water ready and you can sluice with it. But I'll show you how I got ahead and put silicone all up in here and around the sides, so it'll be a complete ramp. Nothing, no gold will set underneath there. Beautiful day, February. Have the sluice set up and running. Water's a little lower than it was a couple weeks ago. I have the sluice set up for a little more of a water flow, but it's working fine. Just have to go a little slower. If you're set up and you don't have a whole lot of water flow, space your ties or little plastic strips a little farther apart, or you can go with smaller ones. This is a 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch ones alternating down through there in different ways. You'll see on the building video what it looks like. But it's doing pretty good. You can see everything's catching and working the sand out of it. I can see a little bit, a few pieces in here. Everything's pretty low and pretty shallow, and so I didn't work out all the rocks. But it's working out slowly. Still pretty slow to get this thing to work with this much water flow. But it's working and it's cheap. This mat will cost you less than 20 bucks to build. And it works and it's going to catch gold. It's light. Easy cleanup. No bars, no metal, and definitely no carpet. I hate carpet. Everything working good. I've ran 3 buckets through it so far. Going to work a couple more and do a clean out, and I'll show you everything on that and how easy it's going to be. Alright, thought I'd show you the cleanup if we can see it here. Might be too much glare, but we can see all the little bit of gold there. This is more like it's probably what I expected. The other day was a little more than I expected. But this was a good day down there. All that fine gold, a homemade sluice caught. You know, if it can catch that fine stuff, it's going to catch some of the bigger stuff.